welcome to Mega Man Monday. And if our esteemed guest would like to introduce ourselves, we can start with Imp first.
Okay, we'll start with me then. I'm ImpEternal. I've streamed a lot of Mega Man before and a bunch of other games. I've streamed some guitar and other things. I have a TikTok now. I have a YouTube. I'm focusing way more on those things at the moment, but I should be back on Twitch soon.
Soon.
Soon, trademark.
Mr. Jazzem?
I am Jazzem. I am a very inattentive, lazy serve bot who likes, was it curry rice? You said? Yeah,
Curry
like
rice.
curry rice because apparently they like that. And this Microsoft, I was going to call it Mega Man paint then. This paint thing that you've done, Jeff, is adorable.
Right. I worked really hard on it just before the stream started.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't believe you spoiled the character design for Mega Man 12. Like,
Wow.
right here on stream.
Hey, man.
Spoilers. And
Yeah, man.
Hey, Peg, man.
last but not least, Pets.
Hello, I'm Peds, as we just established, and I'm chilling out, talking about Mega Man with the guys.
Oh, he's chill, man.
Chill, man.
I'm all,
Noise.
I'm always chill, man.
No, you're not though. You're still goals, bitch, man. If there's
No,
any,
that's
no, it's definitely not.
To keep that in context, you're talking about him in Mega Man Soccer, right?
Yeah,
Like he's always
absolutely.
stealing goals
Yeah.
with his chill man team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Obviously,
I haven't played Mega Man Soccer in so long.
Holds up perfectly.
I have a copy still somewhere,
but yeah, I couldn't get it sorted, unfortunately.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. I thought that game was fun as a kid to the point where like in like late elementary school, I convinced my parents to like go on eBay and get me like an actual copy because I'd only rented it a bunch of times from like Hollywood Video, and I was like, I want one. I want it.
Yeah, I think like with coronavirus that's affecting the Premier League, maybe we should just get all the teams to play Mega Man Soccer to resolve it all, rather than risk people congregating, getting sick.
So the thing is, presumably robots can't get COVID, but as we know from Mega Man 10,
we have Robo-Inza though.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there might still be an epidemic on that.
Yeah, Robid.
Oh gosh.
Right, so I think we'll start things off, and hopefully I've still got this copied and pasted. Yeah, I do. So, what got you guys into? What got you guys into Mega Man?
Oh God, I gotta. Okay, well, I guess we'll go in order again, or I'll just start. I don't ever remember not having it, like ever. I don't know. I don't even know if my brothers played it or anything, but I just remember being a kid with like Mega Man 2, 3, and 4 or something like that, and having really messed up NES with like cartridges that you had to blow on and that like would mess up a lot, but I would still like try to play them. And then I also remember the Ruby Spears cartoon. I don't assume that's why I had the games. I think that I already had the games, and then I just found the cartoon afterwards. But it's been so long, I don't remember. I was a kid. I specifically remember some things like I go into like preschool or something, and I'd come back, and my mom would pick me up, and she had like a copy of Mega Man 5. I still remember that, and it was like it was great, and I think that's really funny. Like, looking back on it now, it was probably, I imagine, like NES games, because this was like the N64 wasn't quite out yet, but we had an SNES. At least I don't think the N64 was out yet. I guess I'd have to look at the dates. But I feel like Mega Man 5 was really old at that point already. But I was hyped as a kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pets, what got you into Mega Man?
Honestly, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat.
Honestly, the frog in
It's
my
got a
throat.
toad man.
Yeah,
in his
toad
throat.
man.
I'm sorry, I will not stop playing everything. There's enough Robot Masters. They can just cover the entire human experience.
Basically, I played like Mega Man 1, I believe it was years and years ago. I played it a little bit and I was like, okay, and that was it. But I think it was about 6 years ago, I decided, after watching a few speedruns, I was like, I gotta give Mega Man another try. And I then played through like Mega Man 1, like when I first started streaming. And then the next year I played through like 2 and 3. And then after that, I played through like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, like pretty rapidly after each other. And then when 11 came out, I played through that as well. So it was basically what started me off was just basically watching a couple of speedruns. And then I was like, this actually looks a lot better than I remember. I'll give it a bash. And then I just played it and fell in love with the series. Like,
So was it my Mega Man and Bass speedrun that really invigorated you?
no.
No. Okay, I think that's a resounding no. How about you, Mr. Jazzem? What piqued your Mega Man interest?
So born in 91, I think the first time I would have heard about Mega Man was probably that kind of, I think it's meant to be regarded as quite lousy, the N64 port of Mega Man Legends. I remember reading about these in magazines. And like some of the GBA, I think the Mega Man Zero and Battle Network games, they'd get pretty decent reviews, but I kind of grouped Mega Man and Castlevania together in that they were both franchise I was here about tangentially, but wasn't drawn to really until I was kind of in my mid-teens, like paying attention to retro game discourse. And if you're in that sphere, you're gonna end up hearing about Mega Man or Castlevania quite a bit. And I think that was enough for me to when Mega Man 1 hit the Wii Virtual Console, I just checked this was in 2007. I went and grabbed it pretty soon after, and kind of amusingly, I seem to remember my first impression was finding the absurd difficulty kind of charming and hilarious. I think it was like the moving platforms on Gutsman stage
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it was just drop you like a rock. I was like, oh my god, you're kidding me. But I did beat it, and unfortunately, I can't remember if I used the pause trick or not. I'm gonna say I probably did because I the Yellow Devil attack patterns I just can't do, but certainly not what I've tried again. But yeah, no, I ended up playing the next few on Wii, and then the others through like PlayStation Network or other means. And it got to the point where by the time Mega Man 9 came out, I was actively anticipating it. So I was definitely quite late. It wasn't really a childhood film, but yeah, I like good, well-designed action platformers with amazing music. But the game's aesthetic very charming, and yeah, sort of became a fan a bit later, but do like them a lot.
And if you want to see more of this game's aesthetic, it's right there on the screen. Nice, lovely portrait that looks legit.
It's a little one-up, isn't it? It's a Mega Man one-up.
You just reminded me too that Mega Man Legends N64 port was literally just called Mega Man 64.
Yeah, which doesn't really,
the Mega Man game of the N64. Also, there is the Gutsman thing. There is a comic. Has anybody here read Bob and George?
Never
I can't say I have.
Get a little off track here, but it's Mega Man related.
Right.
It was this guy originally wanted to do a webcomic, but then discovered he couldn't draw. So he decided to use Mega Man sprites, and then it became a Mega Man webcomic in very short order. And he goes and he reenacts like the first 6 games, I think, in the comic, and it's all like humorous retellings of it all with like crazy plots and stuff like that. And I just remember the Gutsman stage, just like that platform. I mean, the platform that is definitely like a noob killer, like that Gutsman stage. Because it's if you don't like already know it, it's like the worst. And like you said, Mega Man 1, for some reason, if you didn't jump yourself, like you just like gravity just like amplifies by like 10 times.
It's
greater.
It's pretty shocking.
Yeah, the same thing with spikes too. There's like a few things in Mega Man 1 that are hilarious like that. Anyway, I was thinking about that. If you guys ever are interested, there's like a really old webcomic called Bob and George that I don't think has had updates in like 13 years or something. I don't know, but it was fun.
I probably, now that you say that, I probably also maybe in like early 2000s on the internet, I'd probably see Mega Man in like web comics, like those sprite web.
Oh yeah, Mega Man was definitely like one of the really big like webcomic like sprites, like you say, because I feel like they're very easily modifiable. A lot of people, I feel like, used to have like profile pictures and stuff like that, where it was like a modded Mega Man, because it's just like a dude with a helmet on, and so you just like, let's take that helmet off him and give him like a mohawk or something like that. His hair is blue. Hell, let's give him an earring. I don't know. And just like there was so much, like you said, like the Mega Man sprites got used to death. And they had some really big, like I said, Bob and George was actually really big. It was a big time sprite comic. He went on for like years and years and years, and it was literally just it started with him not being able to draw.
So there's hope for me as well then.
Yeah, no. But there's masterpiece right here. What are you talking about though?
What about you,
We're just
Jeff?
hit lettering, like straight out of a comic book.
Right.
What about you, Jeff? When did you? I think it was only this past. Well, I'll let you tell it. When did you get in?
Yeah, so it's after I stopped doing cocaine. I needed something else to roughen me up, and Mega Man was a thing. But funnily enough, I never played it too much as a kid, apart from a collection my cousin had, which had the first 3 on and a couple extra bits. But I
Wiley was for the Mega Drive, was it?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was Wiley,
Yeah.
was right.
that is the one.
Okay.
And then I sort of always knew of the series, but I never bothered getting into it until sort of I started streaming, and then I thought it'd be funny to just, well, not funny, but it'd be nice just to give these a go, see how well they can get through them, and see what the fuss is about. So there you go. That concludes my TED Talk on how I got into Mega Man. Thank you all for attending.
Yeah, nice. I saw. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, you mentioned was it the Ruby Spears cartoon?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah.
And did any of you watch it, Jazz or Pets?
The Ruby Spears cartoon was like, I don't know how it came about. They like licensed Mega Man, I guess, and they made like this pilot. Like I think it was Jazz or Pets. I don't know. One of you guys said there's a pilot that is much closer in art style to Mega Man, and then like I guess the producers or somebody came back and they were like, these people are too young looking. They're children. And like we need older characters, and so they like aged him up. If you look in the general chat on the Discord right now, I posted a clip from it, and it was like they aged them up, and it was kind of like a silly 90s cartoon, but and like it's not great. Like I rewatched them at one point, but like it's like I feel like it's like a good kind of camp still. Like I don't feel like it was.
Isn't there an episode where Mega Man X comes from the future?
Yeah, and he's like a homicidal maniac. He comes back and he's like screaming, and he's like it's like legit like a PTSD war vet, and Mega Man is like just like trying to stop him from like blowing up the entire city or something like that, because he's gonna destroy like anything he can to get vile. Yeah, that was a thing. I think it went all the way. I think the latest Robot Master that shows up, I could be mistaken. I think the latest Robot Master that shows up is Plant Man. In the Robot Master numbering. But I can't remember. Or I think it's Plant Man, Flower Man? Is Flower Man later? Crap, I can't remember. I think is it Flower Man or Plant Man? God dang it.
I want to say Plant Man. Is that like Mega Man 6?
I think it's I think it's Plant Man, Mega Man 6. Yeah, and they're what is their just to be super nerdy, the numbering. Actually, I looked at the numbering.
I don't know how much play that cartoon got in the UK. Certainly not by the time I was growing up, but I saw it a lot in my internet kind of joking at the expense of old cartoons. Kind of, as we were saying this before the podcast, the Street Fighter cartoon is the king of that. Just there's some absurd cases of like bad animation or strange line readings. I've seen a bit of that from Mega Man as well.
Jeff, I just thought you should do a watch along the Ruby Spears cartoons.
I never knew there were cartoons, to be honest.
There's some anime too. There's like one. I don't know. I've never seen them. I don't know why. There's a GIF of like Mega Man with like next to Wily dressed as Santa throwing presents off a sleigh or something, like one of those like like frenemy type of situations. What it looks like, it's like at the end of the episode they're like he's the Grinch and we're gonna make these kids happy even though like tomorrow I'm gonna try to conquer the world. But yeah, there's the Ruby Spears cartoon, which was like that's like the very Americanized, like westernized cartoon version of the Japanese game, right? It like basically they're like, what if we took like the ideas we had from like our Mega Man 1 and 2 box art and like let's turn this into a show? But I mean, not that bad, but that's what it makes me think of, like the joke where it's like, oh, the Japanese characters are just too cute for the Western audience, so let's give Kirby like let's make Kirby hardcore. Give him like a beard and he'll murder some people or something.
I mean, if you talk about Mega Man in animation, his kind of origin is sort of an Astro Boy pastiche, right? Like that's kind of
It's someone Tezuka. He's very inspired by Astro Boy, which I think is also why in Mega Man 8 they're like, even in the English version, they're like, we will make Mega Man, we'll make his voice as high pitched as possible.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because he's supposed to. I mean, that's what I imagine went down. I was like, why would they like Mega Man is the highest pitched voice? It's like it has to be because they were like Astro Boy's got a high pitched voice. We'll just pick like the highest pitched voice person on hand that could like conceivably also still be playing a male, I guess, and then just give them the role. I don't know.
See, I group Mega Man and Resident Evil together. I mean, obviously both Capcom, but they're also franchises where it was almost jarring when they started getting good voice acting.
Don't Make Cry. I'm trying to think of what else. Mega Man was great because like there's actually, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna link it in chat. There's like a documentary on like a video documentary that somebody did of like the Mega Man voice acting. And I think it actually goes over the full history, but there's like obviously like a big section. This is, how long is this thing? Like 20 minutes? Oops, I pressed it. No, actually this is a very short video. This is like 6 minutes, so it must be like a very brief history. But I'm just gonna post in chat if anybody's interested. And it goes over the history and like why Mega Man X4 and Mega Man 8 had like the voice acting that it did.
Oh, I think you might have shown me. You know what? Hearing Mega Man 8's voice acting made me feel like I could become a voice actor.
It inspired you. That was the whole point, right?
And then I heard Mega Man 11's voice acting. I was like, you know what? Maybe I can't. So on that note, actually, if each of you could just do a line. If I find you a line from Mega Man 8 or Mega Man X4 and you just repeat that. So
I'll try.
If you, Jazzem, if you start off saying, if we find that meteor, we'll find Dr. Wily.
If we find that meteor, we'll find Dr. Wily.
Good stuff. Pets, I want you to do Frostman. Just, I'll crush you. I'll make a popsicle of you.
I'll crush you. I'll make a popsicle out of you.
Okay. No, that was too good. You said that was too much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You might need to do
I'm feeling bad, no?
Oh, no, that's okay. That wasn't the intention.
Coming in here, flexing your vocal cords. No, naughty. So Imp, you're gonna do What Am I Fighting For?
Do you want like the original like Chucky version, or do you want like like Chucky from Rugrats?
Yes,
because that is what it always reminds me of. It's like there's no world for Reploid Iris, something like that, like that stuff. And just like, what are we fighting for? Like that thing. Like, what am I fighting for? His voice, it's like a tuning fork. Like there's.
I will say, Jeff, if you want to reduce your view count to 0 for some reason, we could do a burn to the ground a cappella. If you want to, just all of us together. Just
burn to the ground.
Maybe
Oh,
we
that's
can.
Mega Man X7.
Oh my god. Okay.
Infamously, there's a boss. There's like a fire-themed boss who just goes burn, burn, burn to the ground, burn, burn. But
Oh
I'm
my
not
god.
really exaggerating the frequency or the intonation of that.
Oddly, I bought.
It's pretty wild.
I need to actually. I bought Mega Man 7. It was brand new, and I think I played it for like an hour. And I was like, like I need to beat it someday.
So, Peds, you played X6. Did you
Welcome,
get to
Techno Odin.
X7?
Thank you for the raid.
X7, I am currently on. I have done some of it. I actually think X7 is better than X6 in many a way. Like one, I think the 2D sections are better. The 3D sections are not as good, but at least they're trying something different. But yeah, X6, I genuinely hated Mega Man X6. Hated it with a passion. I would rather lick my own arsehole than play X6 again.
Damn, they should put that on like the box art, like promotional material.
Yeah,
I don't think any master corresponds to that.
You're in luck, Peds, because at the end of the podcast, you're having a lick your own arsehole contest. So, Jazzem, you can play X6 if you prefer.
Trust me, you don't want to.
Yeah, on my replays, I only got as far as X5. X5 is really easy, I feel like, but like such a pain. They stop you all the time.
Because X5 was where I was originally going to end the X series, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's like an interesting story. You could do X5 into 0. But like there's just like X5 for some reason they decided they're like, what if we add like a character to like talk to you over the radio? And it's kind of like she just never like, you know, it's like push to talk, but she doesn't have push to talk on. You know what I mean? She just like pops up whatever. And she's just like, hey, look out for that thing or something. And it's like it's not even like it's like dialogue you have to go through like in the Mega Man X cutscenes, right? Like where you're like, he's like, X, you will be stronger, man, you know, all that stuff. Like talking to 0, like you're pressing through the button, you're pressing through the dialogue. It's like that, except mid stage, like every stage.
I will. That reminds me of because I guess we're talking about the various Mega Man series. I do like Mega Man Legends a lot, but the first game does early on. Roll is doing that quite a bit, and most egregiously, he's like, there should be a door in front of you. Can you see the door in front of you?
I can at least,
it's not great.
I can at least understand it. I haven't played Legends in a long time, but I can at least understand it in a game like as long as Legends is, and how it's like it's a very different type of game. But like Mega Man X is like, it's like, you know, straight up action. They're just like, look out for that whale or something. Just like random. I don't remember what she talks about. She just talks a lot.
What's she reading Moby Dick at the time?
It breaks up the pacing of like every single stage.
Yeah.
X4 is like so good though.
I love the soundtracks to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we can sort of. I'm so disappointed that I've messed up on my clipboard. It's all right. We can dive in. So it's which Mega Man game is your favourite? We'll start off with Pets first.
All right. I like that.
Probably Mega Man 2, to be honest. Which is not exactly unexpected, or I guess it's a pretty boring choice, as a lot of people will say too. But I really liked Mega Man 2. I found that it wasn't too difficult, it wasn't too easy. It was just really good romp. But yeah, Mega Man 2 is definitely my favorite. I'd say 3. I don't know, like 3, 9, 11 are all really good as well. But I think 2 just about tops it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think Mega Man 2 to me seems to be the one that most people go for. Or at least it seems to be sort of the classic one that most people compare all of the games to, at least.
Yeah, I find like 2 and 3 tend to be the ones. I think for 3, a lot of people like really like the game, but I think what holds it back in people's like, I don't know, view is the simple fact that it's laggy as shit. There is so much slowdown in Mega Man 3.
Mm.
And
I
I think that hinders it a bit.
I know
for
a lot of people. I know a lot of people that, or okay, I say I know a lot of people. I see Buzz, right? I follow. We live on the internet. I've seen a lot of people that like they don't like 3 as much when they add the slide, because it's like added mechanics, and then they especially don't like the series from 4 onward when they add the charge shot, which is interesting, I guess. And I think does 9 and 10, you don't have the slide in the charge anymore, right?
No.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they reverted back to that. There's a large segment of the fan base that really loved like Mega Man 1 and 2 mechanics, and when they added like Mega Man 3 and then especially Mega Man 4 mechanics, they were like, there's like, well, why do we even have these weapons anymore? We just charge shot. Also, 2 is super iconic. It just had me thinking about it. There's a song, there's a J-Rock song called I think it's called "Can't Defeat Airman," and it's like super popular on Osu. Yeah, incredibly popular on Osu, and it's like Mega Man 2 is super iconic. Like I feel like if people, I mean, I guess outside of the voice acting, the memes and stuff like that, if it was literally just based on the games, a lot of people would probably just like know Mega Man 2 Robot Masters and like nothing else.
Yeah. So how about yourself, Jazzem? Have you got a top Mega Man game that bounces out to you like a Jumpman? Is there a Jumpman? There is now.
Well, there's a Mario who was a Jumpman.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it still is power. Yeah, so I think
this isn't a Mario podcast.
Surprise it is. Yeah, I think I'd probably, yeah, I mean, 2's the go-to one, and yeah, I think that's my favorite, like the class of that era. I think I actually would go even 9, because 9 was really nice. Is like just the anticipation to that was quite strong, and I really think there's something mania of that decade. Basically, they really nailed that classic design they were going. It was such a well designed, well thought out game with just amazing music.
Oh yeah,
like possibly I mean, trying to say a best Mega Man soundtrack would be quite tough, but that certainly vouches for it. And I think X1 as well. It's one of those two probably, with I think 11, 2, and maybe one of the Legends games slowly covered in. But X1 is just, again, speaking of games that are just so immaculately designed. And I played the next few X games after that. I've done X2 to X4. Liked X4 and 2 a lot. It's kind of thought 3 was okay. But X1 is just, that's one of those rare cases where a series just nails it right out of the gate. I just think the design in that game is it's just so tight, and again, amazing music. X1 or 9 for me, I think.
Yeah. Did you say X1 or Fortnite, or did I mishear you?
No, I thought you said Fortnite as well.
Oh no,
Mega Man isn't in Fortnite yet, is he? I'm saying yet because so many characters get added to Fortnite now.
They've had Street Fighter people, so yeah, probably the amount of time. But
yeah, four Street Fighter characters are in there so far.
Note to self-enunciate more.
So Capcom, if you want to get in touch with who does Fortnite? You have a Fortnite guys? Epic.
Yeah.
There you go. How about you, Mr. Imp?
Well, going back off that last bit, if Epic ever wanted me to like suddenly want to play a Fortnite, like Capcom crossover to get Mega Man in there, would probably do it. Let's see. What games are my favorite? I mean, I've played 1 on stream so many times now, and honestly, it doesn't get old. I know it's like 1 is like super janky in comparison to a lot of them, but like I think my fastest time is like 43 minutes, and I don't even know like the tech, like the speed run stuff or anything like that. I really like 1, and I really like 5, because 5 like okay, gonna get back to. Let's not get into 8 yet, but 5 takes a 5. I feel like takes a lot of risks in like stage design. Does some really interesting stuff with like the Wave Racer, I think it's Breakman Castle, where you're like it's a super easy stage, but I just like it. Like when I saw it, I was like, whoa! When you're destroying the blocks to drop the stage, so you can get to the top of the stage to fight him. So like, you know, you're like lowering the tower and the whole background shifts and you're just like also being careful not to get crushed. That was really cool. And there's like a handful of things in Mega Man 5 that they were just like nothing there was nothing in the series like that before. Everything before that was pretty just like different forms of just like your general like platformers. Like it kind of felt like, you know, like 1 through 4 was like refining what was already kind of there in 1. And then like 5, they were just like, let's just like throw some darts and see what happens. And then they came up with some really cool stuff. So I actually really like 5 a lot. It's definitely 1 or 5. And then like I was just talking classic, but you also mentioned X. I do love X. I played X. I can beat X pretty quickly, and I enjoy it a lot. So, yeah, the I haven't played. I think it's a later question, but since you touched on it, like Mega Man Zero, I remember being like super like that to me. Mega Man Zero is like quintessential Mega Man. Like that's like what it all builds to.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that's it.
So, would you like Mega Man X as much if you didn't beat me every time? You see, every single time you did a Mega Man X.
I grew up on I grew up on X. I grew up on X. That's the game that I probably played as a kid the most. This was like the stages. I was like, I never really beat the games as a kid. I just played them like, and then I just started them over and over. Like each time I played. But I as a kid, I just remember like playing X, and X is interesting because like I didn't. All right, have a good one. Was it MSD Crafter?
Yeah.
Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see what I was gonna say. I didn't know until later. I didn't get into Iron Maiden. This is going to sound random for a moment, but I didn't get into Iron Maiden until I was like in college. And then when I went back and started replaying Mega Man X, I was like, oh, I understand the music now. I always liked the music, but I never thought about it. I never knew what they were going for. But it's just like straight up like Iron Maiden power metal. It's like which is so interesting. It's like I was just like, oh, no wonder. Like later on, I listened to Iron Maiden, and I was like, this stuff is awesome.
See, I for a moment, I was like, wait, Metal Band and Mega Man X. I was like, wait, is he referring to the Mega Man X5 boss names? And I was like, wait, no, that's Guns N' Roses.
Oh, no, that's Guns N' Roses. Yeah,
they were named after. Yeah.
No, but like if you were to 16-bit like all the iron like probably like the like Number of the Beast through like Somewhere in Time or something like that, and you were just like playing side by side with like Mega Man X stuff, it would probably be pretty similar. Like the 80s, like a lot of the 80s Iron Maiden albums.
Yeah, I think Mega Man X soundtrack is probably one of my favorites. Or even I think is it X3 or X4 that I really dig. Well, I don't know. It's just something about it. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of Iron Maiden, but you know, if Iron Maiden makes chill penguin music, then yeah, I'll probably get the next album.
Go check them out. Hey, the latest album just came out. Like September, I think.
This stream is sponsored by Iron Maiden.
Yes.
Get your tickets.
Go listen to Iron Maiden. All of it. Even the bad ones are great. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, speaking of the music, Crystal Snail Stage. Go listen to that music. Crystal Snail Stage and Dive Man Stage in Mega Man 4. Those need more love. Those are super good tracks.
I mean, speaking of the music, I do think, as I say, when I kind of would see in retro game discourse, talk of good game music, like Mega Man stuff inevitably comes up, like just these incredible, as you say, kind of little chip tune rock themes of really like good driving melodies, kind of inspired, I guess, by like progressive rock and whatnot. And just immediately I was like, okay, yeah, I can see why Wily Castle Mega Man 2 is getting remixed to death, or all these other like great little tunes. It's definitely a big part of the texture of the games, isn't it? And it's generally pretty consistently good, I'd say, throughout like the main games, right? And like X as well.
Yeah. Every Mega Man game I've played I don't think it's like there's obviously better tracks than others, but I don't think there's any bad music in the games that I can think of personally. But that could be my memory failing. But I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I have strong opinions on Mega Man 8 soundtrack, but other than that, I pretty much agree with you.
I mean, it looks
were
like
like,
Mega
hey,
Man 8 is gorgeous, at least, right? Like really nice
what's oh yeah,
2D.
no,
Yeah.
there's still things to like about Mega Man 8, but like I feel like it's the one game that, given another option, I just would probably pick it in the series. They went with like lounge music, like there's something weird about it. Like before that, Rock Band, it was all rock music, and for some reason Mega Man 8, and I think there's what is it, the Saturn version, or what is it? One of the other versions has. Am I crazy? There's another version with like a different soundtrack that people prefer, but honestly, I think I went and listened to it and didn't really care for that one that much either.
Yeah, it had a Saturn version as well. I think that had like a
Yeah,
few visual improvements in certain areas, I think.
the
And yeah,
soundtrack is different too.
oh
What
wow,
else was
interesting.
Yeah,
yeah?
I
What else
think
was
Saturn
it's
version has extra robot masters as well, doesn't it? Or am I
yeah.
thinking of a different game?
So it is Tengu
Um,
Man and I think Astro Man possibly that had different tracks, and it had a couple extra bosses. So I think it had either Guts Man or Cut Man that you could find in the mid
yeah.
stage.
Oh man, I had so many things in mind that I was thinking about too. Oh yeah, one of them. There's, if anybody's interested. Oh yeah. Oh, I remember now. I'm just being like a super Mega Man nerd. Two things. There's an 8-bit music theory episode. That's a really cool YouTube channel, but like also their music theory stuff tends to kind of be a little over my head. I'm no expert in music theory, but they have a few like beginner ones. But they do have a whole episode that's kind of like a humorous poking fun at, but also like praising the Mega Man 2 soundtrack in its like music theory. So if you look up like 8-bit music theory Mega Man, there's a really good video there that just talks about like why those tracks are the way they are, like how they, why they feel the way they do, and like how a lot of them have a lot of the tracks in Mega Man 2 share like a lot, I guess, of the theory. Like they're very similar in a lot of ways. um, let's see what else. Oh yeah, and then Minami Matsumai. She was the composer for Mega Man 1, and she actually, since we're talking about Mega Man music, they brought her on board when they did the Kickstarter for Shovel Knight. They actually got her to do a track. I think she did two. One of them was Plague Knight. The other one I feel like is Lost Media. I'm really confused by it because I remember listening to like crazy, and it sounded like an opening theme or something, and I loved it back in college. And when I tried to go find it again, I couldn't find it. And you're like, bro, I'm like, it's like that's like 2 computers ago. I don't know where to find that anymore.
So that's everybody's homework now, to find that track.
If only we knew the name of it.
I like it. But if you guys like if you guys like Mega Man soundtrack, Shovel Knight went for that, and they even got like the Mega Man 1 composer. She was not the composer for 2 onward. I cannot remember the name of the guy that did like pretty much the rest of the series for at least a while. But she did the Mega Man 1 stuff. And
did she do Mighty Number 9 as well? Or
let me check.
She did the main theme at least. I remember seeing, like, I think she was one of those names that would get bandied about in a few Kickstarters.
Yeah,
and I think she did the theme, like the really good theme for Mighty Number 9. Yeah,
she did. Yeah, she has a credit on Mighty Number 9. She's done. I mean, I guess she hasn't done as much since like 2000, but she's still done a lot. Like you said, the Kickstarters, Mega Man 10 and Shovel Knight. She did a track for both. But yeah, her stuff's really good. So.
And she also inspired Iron Maiden. Go buy the new album.
Oh, she does have a credit on Mega Man 2. I didn't realize. So I guess the last game that I think she was the initial composer, and then they brought in somebody else after a while, and she moved on to do other games.
Fair enough. So I think Imp touched on Mega Man 8. So I guess we'll move on to our least favorite Mega Man games. So Imp, do you want to kick us off with?
Sure. Shockingly, it's Mega Man 2. No, it's Mega Man 8, and I feel it's funny because I've mentioned this a bunch of times. I've talked to Jeff about it. I've talked to other people about it. Mega Man 8, I really love Mega Man 5, and I feel like Mega Man 8 tried to pretty much do the same thing. They were like, all right, cool. You know what? We have Mega Man. We got a good formula. This is the first one on the PlayStation, but like, Mega Man 7 was pretty good. It was pretty standard, let's go back and do like the Mega Man 5 thing, and let's swing. Let's take some swings. Let's like see what we can do. We'll do like a side scrolling like spaceship shooter type stages. We'll do like the snowboarding thing, and like we'll have some like really different stages, like the switches in the Clown Man stage and all different. And it's just like I hate all of it. It's like, I can't. I don't know why. I'm not. And I find things to love in games, but man, Mega Man 8 is so rough for me to play. And while Mega Man 5 did so many things that I felt like the stuff that the risks they took and the interesting things they went for really work for me, and I find that they're really fun. Like in Mega Man 8, they range from like kind of like tedious to just like agonizing, and it's just so rough. They give you like the ball. They give you that ball to kick. I don't know.
I think we do that in Mega Man Soccer as well.
Oh, yes. Mega Man 8 also, like I said, 8 also has a soundtrack where I was like, I feel like 1 through 7. 7's soundtrack is like okay to me. There's some pretty good tracks in there. I think Slash Man's track was pretty good. There's like definitely like a handful of good tracks in Mega Man 7. And the bass theme, the opening stage theme as well to Mega Man 7. I remember those like really vividly. But Mega Man 8, I can't think of a single track in that soundtrack, and I've listened to it several times, just like trying to like salvage it in my mind. And they went like, it got weird like loungy type music, and it just didn't fit for me. Like it was so different from the rest of the series. It's kind of laid back a lot of times, and I don't know why they did it.
See,
I don't mind 8. I didn't mind it. The only thing I didn't like was the jump and slides bit, and I wasn't a massive fan of the shooter section where you're flying around. But otherwise, I didn't mind the game. I thought it was all right.
I have nitpicks on 8 too. I have like the final Wily boss when you have to use the grenade to stop him from using like the laser or something like that, I think. And it actually makes it hard to see when he like uses another move, because he like throws like the buzzsaws or something out of it. So you have this big old explosion that's flashing on screen and being kind of annoying. And then like the buzzsaw flies out of it, and it's so much harder to react to when you're actually doing what you're supposed to in that fight. There was a bunch of things like that where I'm just like, I feel like the design was maybe a little questionable in places. Also, the soundtrack thing, I legit mentioned to Jeff that I would love to just go back, and I'm like, what if I just like, if I ever get to the point where I have like enough music theory under my belt to be like, let's compose some songs, I would just recompose all of 8.
Oh goodness! So I have to admit, I was trying to think of a Mega Man 8 song, and I was kind of having to it in my head. I was like, wait a minute, no, that's a Mega Man 7 song. I do remember liking some tunes of Mega Man 8, but I seem to remember my chief feeling with that game was it kind of ended kind of anticlimactically, as I remember. I don't know if it was like an underwhelming Wily Castle. I enjoyed playing it on I think it was on PSP. I played it. They looked gorgeous on there. It was like a pleasant game, but yeah, I remember feeling it doesn't amount to too much. Like it kind of ends up feeling a bit inconsequential.
Yeah, the funniest thing about 7 and 8 to me is like by 7 and 8, Mega Man is just straight up ready to murder Wily in both games.
Oh, that's a localization thing, isn't it?
Is it? I was about to ask because like
it is
1
in
through
7,
6.
yeah.
Okay, like he straight up is like, no, we've done this before. Like,
yeah,
put you down, old man.
I think in Mega Man 7 he just says ... or something. And then in the Japanese version, sorry, and then I think they amended it slightly for the Western release.
I actually love it just because I meme on it.
It is great though, isn't it? It's like,
after
after
8
games,
games,
it's been used now. That's it, man. You're dead.
I think that was around the same. That was like 95. I think that was around the same time there was the Kirby Puyo, like the Dr. Robotics Beam Machine style Kirby makeover for Puyo Puyo on SNES, and that was like a Western thing. And in that, Kirby like smack talks his enemies before. So that was a weird year for like cutesy characters and localization getting twisted a bit. So I don't know what was in the war.
There's actually I didn't know that, but I mentioned Kirby because there's actually like a trope for that. I don't remember what it's called, but there's a whole trope about like things being too cute for the Western audience. So like from Japan, so they just like grit it up, and like Kirby as like Solid Snake or something like that, or like really dark gritty Kirby as like the image, or at least it was years ago when I saw that trope.
Well, if you look at the Mega Man, especially, I think a bit in Europe as well, because they've had different box arts. But the Mega Man Western box art is like with each game, they slowly have to accept. Oh, we have to make him chibi and cute on the cover, don't we? But it was so reluctant for the longest time doing these just bizarre sort of adult interpretations of what a Mega Man could be that are just so off model. And even when it was like, all right, fine, he can be a child, but he'll still have a hideous like goblin face or whatever, because I guess that's a more westernized look. And then
Yeah,
by
I
the time
feel
you
like
get to Mega Man 8, it's like, all right, fine, you can have anime on the cover. All right, we'll
I
find
think
about that.
I feel like 4, 5, and 6 had already kind of gotten there, but I remember 3 being weird. They were like, it was it. What does it see? I'm mean, like Mega Man 3 box art. It's like it has like green Top Man for some reason.
Mm.
And I think Sparkman is on it. It's okay, yeah. 3 was like getting there. I'll post it in chat.
From what I remember, like 3, 4, 5, and 6, like it is more Mega Man like, but he's got like a really angry face.
He looks hideous.
And
He
in the Japanese one, he hasn't got a really angry face.
I
believe.
Yeah. I think Mega Man 4 was already like. I feel like by Mega Man. Well, actually, okay, maybe not. Oh yeah. He's still kind of angry. They definitely got there eventually. Like, let's see. I'd say 6 is like pretty close. I can see what you're saying. I'd say 6 is pretty close though. By the time they get to 6, like 6, yeah. I see what you're saying about 4 and 5. Like, like everything else looks like, oh, it's Mega Man, and then just like he's like the punk ass. Yeah, like you said, you're right. I thought about it, but they really do gradually, finally accept it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. So who was next with the least favorite? I think, or was 8 yours also, Jazzem?
No, I'm gonna cheat with mine. I hope I don't get like booted out the Discord. I am gonna say mine number 9. And I don't even think it's like I backed the Kickstarter. Which might make you like, oh, is that why it's your favorite because you invested it? But I think more than anything, that game is just so depressing in its story. I mean, it's fascinating in its story, but it's just so sad how you really can't overstate how optimistic the mood was around it. It was such a kind of, oh, nice to get the gang back together, like, one of the key people in Mega Man, KG Inafune, not the creator, but like sort of the steward of the series over the years. It was such a kind of, yeah, they're going to really make this work. And it was like, oh, this crowdfunding thing's a really cool idea. Oh, they're doing all these stretch goals. They're definitely going to be able to maintain doing all of those without any developmental woes, along with aiming for a nearly double-digit number of platforms. And then it was just so sad to see just delay after delay. It was pretty obvious, like, okay, Finn, they're struggling a bit under the weight of this. The visuals they're lo-fi, and I don't think people expected it to be, but they're lo-fi and there's not really an art style to it, a particularly pleasing one. And when I finally play it day one, I think by that point it was just, that was after also bizarre jock style marketing mocking anime fans, which is just that's a bit mean. I'm not. I don't know what I mean. That just so much kind of just so much of that, and then the game comes out, and I think because Jeff, I want to hear your perspective on this in a bit because you obviously played it recently. There's good stuff to Mighty Number 9. Like there are a few good tracks. I like a few character designs. I even don't mind like the kind of dashing gameplay aspect. But there's definitely the sense it doesn't really come together in any satisfying way. It might be a bit vain in some way, but I really can't get past how ugly that game is. And again, I don't mean just because it's not super high polygon count. It's just very drab and like some cool ideas in the levels, but they don't always play especially smoothly or satisfyingly. And yeah, it's just very sad with that game in the end. That it was meant to be the little game that could, and they didn't quite get there. But then Mega Man 11 came out, and that was tremendous. So I guess it doesn't matter too much in the end. But yeah, it's because I think Jeff, you're like, I don't hate the game. I just think it's ultimately mediocre, and again, quite sad given its larger context and what it was trying to be. But I think you came away from it quite positively, I want to say, right, Jeff?
Oh, I love every single aspect of it.
Oh my lord.
I think had it not been for Mega Man and Bass, it definitely would have been probably my least favorite game, but still an alright game. I think just in comparison to what it's set out to achieve and what it actually did achieve. I think it fell short, but as a game and as somebody who came into it fresh-eyed and bushy-tailed without having backed a Kickstarter or gone through the rigmarole of waiting for it to arrive and all that. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, I think you really hit on something there. Like, I don't think playing it without the kind of crazy context or the expectations. I don't think it's kind of a case of no, we were wrong on this thing. It's like, well, we were kind of right, but you know, it's also not a 2 out of 10 game or whatever. It's like there are cool aspects to this, and there's certainly much worse games. It's just it is kind of a 6 out of 10 game where I think we were all really hoping for like a good 8 or 9 out of 10. Unfortunately,
I think when you compare it to what did come out with Mega Man 11, which sort of knocked it out the park a bit. Unfortunately for KG and Fune. Well, he's doing all right with his Your Gun Vault striker. So
I haven't even mentioned 11, and like that definitely belongs on my list of favorites.
And it's funny because I think there is like common theory that like did Mighty Number 9 light some fires in Capcom where I was like, wait, people still want this, and then this like there's kind of a train of thought where it's like, well, did that lead to Mega Man 11? Maybe it's you would want to say
people
for
wanted
certain.
Mega Man 11 because people been crying out for it since 10.
Their poor social media managers, yeah.
So maybe if we create another shit Mega Man clone game, we might release Mega Man 12. Do you reckon?
You know, has anybody?
Let's make a shit Mega Man Legends style game so they can finally do Mega Man Legends 3 for those that want it.
Has anyone played Mega Man versus? Is either versus or X Mega Man versus Capcom or versus Street Fighter? Mega Man X Street Fighter or something like that?
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
I remember playing that like when it was brand new. I think that was before 9 came out, and it was like a Capcom endorsed, or they had the Capcom's blessing, I think, to release it.
That's right. So what that was, that it was actually post Mega Man 10.
And was it after 10? Okay.
Yeah, and it was actually, I think it was like maybe 2014, maybe.
I was in high school. No, this was definitely like 08 or 07 or something like that.
Okay, well, I remember it was kind of promoted with the context of like it was like a Capcom USA person being like, I know, we need to do better than this with this. Like, we need to we're trying to be on the way to making good with Mega Man, and it was sort of seen as like that as like we'll kind of promote like it wasn't an official Capcom game, and I thought it was very neat. It did kind of show that it wasn't official. It like. The production values were very high, but there was definitely a feeling with the level design of like, this isn't professionally made. Like it's still neat and cool, but you could tell the levels aren't up to that standard. But it was still quite a cool thing. They, in the face of like Nintendo or Square Enix, DMCA and fan projects, it was nice to see a Sega style acceptance of that and kind of elevate it a bit.
I know we've also done Mega Man Maker as well, sort of like Mario Maker.
Yes.
That's good.
Real quick.
That feels like a professional product. It's so well made.
I was mistaken. It's 2012, so it wasn't that late. I just remember like being here at my parents' house. So it was over Christmas, so I guess I was home for the holidays. I was thinking it had to be in high school. It feels so long ago. But yeah, I remember that.
Are you calling us old, Imp?
I'm old. Two things. I posted them both in chat. The trope is called American Kirby is hardcore, and it's like the Mega Man stuff is like a perfect example of what you're talking about. But even with the angry face Mega Man, I posted that in TV tropes in chat. And also, does anybody remember Kaio King of Pirates? Does anybody remember when that got announced?
Oh, that was supposed to be a 3DS game by KJ.
That was like going to be, it was like it was like what it was a retelling of Romance of the Three Kingdoms as like pirates. They're like animal pirates. Is going to be a Keiji Inafune game, and that got canceled, I guess, for Mighty Number 9. I remember seeing that trailers or artwork. I think there's trailer out there. I thought it looked pretty cool, and I always think about that. I'm like, well, I guess that's just never happening. That obviously isn't happening. So.
Peds, did you have a least favorite Mega Man game?
X6.
I mean, when you ask a question, you kind of know the answer to it.
X6 easily is the worst Mega Man game I have played. I hated it. It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not great at games anyway, but I think I spent so long on Mega Man X6 just frustrated and angry with the game that when it was finished, I almost orgasmed.
When it was finished, Ted's finished.
Everything about the game sucked, man. I didn't like any of it, especially with like enemies respawning in front of you and stuff because of the weird little virus flight. I don't fucking know what they are, but I just didn't like it, man.
So would you still rather eat your
Or we should play Mega Man X6 now. Well, not right now, but soon. Just so I can laugh in your face as you try.
Jeff is gonna be all like, "Man, I love all of these aspects of this game. I love everything about this game."
Like contorting my frown to a smile as much as possible. It's, I mean, Peds, you're not alone on that, right? Like, it's notoriously a pretty busted game, right? Like, one that
I've never really heard much talk of it. I heard a lot of talk about 7 being bad, but like X7 being bad, but I never heard much about X6. That's probably because people want to like wipe it from their memories.
X6 and X7 often get brought up. It's often brought up as like a pick your poison style question in terms of
well, like I said earlier, X7 at least is trying something different, but also the 2D sections are the side-scrolling 2D sections are better in X7 in my opinion than X6.
Yeah, I think when people talk about like say Mega Man X series versus the classic series, one point that gets brought up in the favor of the classic, even though some people don't like say the later NES games as much, or maybe like 7 or 8, people still generally say classic is more consistent than, because I think you were saying earlier, Imp, that X5 was meant to, it might be new, Jeff, forgive me, X5 was meant to be the last one, but it's still kind of potted on after that a little. I think X8 is generally pretty well regarded.
Yeah.
It's
somehow
X7.
Somehow X5 was meant to be the last one and ended up branching the series instead.
You played Mega Man and Bass, haven't you, Imp?
I had it on Game Boy Advance. It's been so long. I loved that game as a kid because I liked bass. Well, I don't know if I'd like it if I went back.
Yeah, that's going to be my next question. Why wasn't that on your worst list? Ted, you played a bit of Mega Man and Bass, haven't you?
Yeah, it was really, really, really hard, but I didn't find it was unfair from what I played of it, but I didn't play it as much as you, and I enjoyed my time with it. I was having fun.
I played a lot. I played a lot of that game as a kid. I played a lot of that game as a kid on Game Boy Advance.
It's not X6. I'll put it that way. X6 is cheap, nasty shit.
Are you gonna help me shit on Mega Man and Bass?
That's a weird visualization. It's I've played the least of it, I think. I tend to put some Call Me Johnny video reviews on like in the background, so I've seen this Mega Man and Bass one enough a few times that when you were going up to that game in your marathon, I was like, take care, Jeff. I hope you'll be okay on that. I do plan to give it a go someday, but I can't say watching you play it put it up in my desire to. And I'll say Imp as well. I know the GBA version's meant to be pretty rough because of how smaller the
zoomed in. I liked it as a kid, but there's a part of me that's really afraid that it'll be like it'll be like Sonic Adventure 2. Where I go back and I'm like, man, this game was the shit when I was a kid, and it's all right.
I swear it took years off my life.
Oh, bless you.
Peds, Jazzem, Imp, you're wrong.
Have you played X6 yet?
I'm not looking forward to X6 from what I've seen of it. Mighty Number 9 was alright. Mega Man 8 I found, apart from a jump, slide. Jump, slide. I didn't mind it too much, to be honest.
I mean, I think we all know the right answer is Mega Man DOS on this, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's
weird Electronics games.
How dare
I think it's weird in Mega Man.
Mega Man
Sorry.
DOS How dare you? It is such a good game. I've
Which
never played it.
which
I've only seen it played by a speedrunner, and
Yeah,
it looks awful, but it seems really fun. They make it fun. The streamer
Yeah.
themselves,
I think it's funny. I just thought about this. Isn't it weird how in Mega Man 8, like at least 2 or 3 of the bosses have like weird kinks or something like that? Like they will just like scream them at you. Like Grenade Man's like you kill Grenade Man, he's like, that felt good or something like that.
Oh god, I don't remember that. Did I block that out?
Clown Man is like so bad.
What did he say? He says something like, "I'm Clown Man, but you can call me handsome."
All of Clown Man. It's not even just like the intro lines. I can't even remember what Clown Man says. I just remember.
I think it's Iceman or something. Not
I just remember.
I'll crush you, get in my bed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, listen to action. Listen to
Frostman.
Yeah.
I'm Frostman, but you can call me Mr. Handsome Guy.
Yeah.
That's not even it. I'm trying to remember what else Clown Man says. I definitely, when I replayed, I was like, I don't remember this from when I was a kid. So this is some interesting dialogue.
This is making me think. When someone says something silly on Twitter and people reply with like clown gifs, I wonder, have people done that with Clown Man? They just reply with
man,
Clown Man
that would be good.
Is that going to start happening at some point?
I love there's a what is it, like they put on the clown costume or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Should I be wearing my clown costume or what?
Oh yes.
What is Clown Man even strong against? Like, what power? Which one is weak to his power?
He's the thunder one, isn't he? Is he Grenade Man? Or
is Clown Man strong? Was 8? I don't remember. I've already blocked some of my mind. Was 8 like 7, where they blocked like where you could do like 4 and then the other 4? It had to be, right? Because they had that middle cutscene with Duo. It had to be. And the latter ones were like Search Man, Astro Man, Hydro Man, and Sword Man. Was Sword Man in the last 4? Or the first 4?
There was was it 7 that had Slash Man?
Yeah.
Sword Man's like the double body guy with like the floating torso and the big blade, but there was like Search Man. Also, some interesting stuff if you watch. I'm gonna drop some trivia that I always drop. 8. Sorry, I'm just like stream of consciousness right now. 8 has like if you beat that game, you watch the credits. They have like there's certain characters that they very clearly had like ideas for, maybe names or some kind of concept. You can see a bunch of different versions of Search Man that aren't like very military, but it's like you can tell they're like a double thing or something like that. Like you can tell that they had like the 2-headed thing going on, and they do design contests for Robot Masters since at least Mega Man 3. Yusuke Murata.
I hope my Mega Man creation gets used.
Oh yeah, don't worry, pets.
Yeah. Yusuke Murata is the artist for the One Punch Man remake manga, because the original is like a web manga by a guy that his paneling is good, but his drawing is not super clean or anything. So they did like an official version of it, like a professional version where he's teamed up with like a really good artist. Yusuke Murata, actually, when he was like 13 years old or something like that, he's an honorable mention on Mega Man 3's credits for like one of the designs that didn't make it. And he also designed Dust Man in Mega Man 4 and Crystal Man in Mega Man 5. And he grew up and became like a professional manga artist on Ice Shield 21 and One Punch Man and like some other stuff. He's like godly. But I think it's cool. When he's like 12 or 13 years old, he was entering these contests and winning.
Oh wow.
So if you see him at a convention, you go up to him and you go like, "Wow, it's the creator of Dustman,
I'll do it in Japanese." Like, who is this? Who is this foreign guy obsessing over Dustman?
Oh, goodness.
So I think we've had enough time bashing games. So
I'm gonna go back to Mega Man 8 though.
No more Mega Man 8.
Go back around.
Which is your favorite moment in Mega Man 8? No, which is your favorite
credits?
Which is your favorite Mega Man series? I think you touched a bit on this.
Original Mega Man series.
Original?
Yeah, I mentioned a bit.
It's by far the best. It's more consistent. It's generally better. in most ways. Like musically, Mega Man X and Mega Man all have really awesome music, so couldn't really decide by them. But I just prefer the gameplay of Mega Man to Mega Man X,
Okay.
and that's why it's better. So they.
Mr. Jazzem? Yeah, I think Jazzem's played through most of the series, right?
So it's really only classic half of X and 2/3 of Legends because I haven't played Trombone. Zero is a pretty big blind spot for me. I think I probably like Battle Network okay. I never really sat down with it. Mine's probably classic as well, but just to have an excuse to talk about a different one, I do really love the vibe of Legends. Those games are so charming. They have such a kind of it's that weird kind of media that even if you didn't grow up with it, which I certainly didn't, it still evokes a feeling of nostalgia, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like how certain films can do that.
Legend.
Something about Legends has that very 90s kind of happy-go-lucky, like it has the feel of like Skies of Arcadia reminds me of that really charming Dreamcast pirate RPG. I mean, it does have Sky Pirates, so I guess that adds up, but it similarly like has a really kind of ground sweeping sense of adventure with very kind of likable characters, goofy scenarios.
Gosh.
That was meant to be taken literally, yes. And yeah, like there's so many cool details in those games. I think that is when that series is probably the best Mega Man series in terms of I don't want to say story necessarily. I think just more in terms of like the kind of flavor of like character or locales or the way that kind of thing can add. I guess because they have more room to do that. They're more of a I don't know if you'd call them action RPGs. They're certainly kind of action adventure, a little bit Zelda-y with a lot of customization and town exploration. And there's like so many cool little touches. They're the kind of games where you'll find like hidden Easter egg montage videos online, and they're so long because there's just so many little details they threw in there. Like how I didn't even know when I first played Legends 1, Mega Man, the shades of blue on Mega Man Volnut, who you play as in that game, not the original Mega Man. It grows darker or lighter depends on if you're a good or a bad Mega Man, basically. And you could be a bad one by like I feel like if you just kick townspeople or like there's like
dog.
ways
Dog.
there's like ways you could be a bit of a light rascal in that game. There's not like a wanted level or anything, but yeah, just and also a very charming pastel aesthetic that's held up. And
I guess the thing with Mega Man Legends is they had more scope for experimentation as well, didn't they? Because it was a completely different game. They could try out various different things, which is probably why they could flesh out the characters more. Because in Mega Man and Mega Man X and Zero, and even Battle Network really is basically like your typical just get into the end to save things. But in Mega Man Legends, if I remember, because I only played it for a bit, it's like your treasure hunters or something. And
yeah.
Like,
so
weird,
like it's very different.
Yeah, kind of scavenger. It is basically like a I think it's inspired by like a lot of kind of mystery anime, like Nadia, Secret of Blue Water, I think it's called, stuff like that. To that point, actually, we were kind of racking on Mega Man voice acting, and correctly so, but the voice acting in Legends is actually, for what it is, it's a little corny, but you know, Legends is also a little, it actually does fit quite well, and the performances, there's some really fun, especially from the villains, like having it up performances. And I think anyone who grew up with like anime dubs of that time, it really hits that kind of. I mean, including the fact that they've got like Canadian voice actors in there because non-union and being cheap and such, but it actually worked out pretty well for it. It's hopefully those get re-released again. They got re-released on the PlayStation Network, at least in America, but nothing since then.
Yeah, that'd be
nice.
cool.
Finally get around to making 3 like they.
Even stuff like Mega Man X9 or Mega Man Legends 3 would be nice to see one day, however
Battle
likely
Network.
it is.
Has anyone here other than me played The Misadventures of Tron-Bonne?
I bought it on. I got all of the Legends games, including that on the American PSN.
I think it's actually the only one I beat.
So Misadventures, could you explain what that is? Because it is it is its own flavor, isn't it? I've been meaning to sit
Yes,
down with
okay.
it
So,
eventually.
Misadventures of Tron Bonne. You play as Tron Bonne, and who is like basically she's like the female of I think she's the younger sister of like it's sort of like a Team Rocket dynamic they have going on with like the Tron Bonne and like her family in Mega Man Legends. It's
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
you have like these pesky but like not like super evil necessarily or anything like bad guys that you're having to deal with. It feels very, like a lot like Jesse and James type stuff. And she's got her little Servbot army. She's also in she's in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Infinite, I think. I think she's in both, I think. She's at least in Infinite. Anyway. You play as Tron Bonne. Her brother is like in like has somehow gotten into like serious debt, and I think he's like collateral or something like that. It's been a long time, but I think he's like collateral, and you have to like pay off his debt. So you do all these missions, and it's like weird, like if I remember, it's like weird, like turn-based. I think there is some dungeon crawling, maybe, but it's it's been a long time. It's mostly like you direct your serve bots to do things. You're like commanding these little serve bots to go around and like accomplish missions, like pushing boxes and doing weird stuff like that to like to basically get like your payday and then slowly pay off your debt. And then you can like you get to like you have a little Cerbot army that you like upgrade over time, and you give them like hats and names or something like that, and like so you have like you have this customizable little army, and they get their own.
I'm sure this
specialties and
isn't The
stuff.
Sims.
This no, but this is like it's like a weird little. I feel like it's was it grid based? I feel like it's kind of like Fire Emblem ish, but like it was mostly like legit, just like puzzle solving stuff, if I recall. I don't remember, but I remember having a lot of fun with it and like blowing through that game as a kid. And then when my PlayStation got donated, so did it, and it's worth like I don't even know how much money now.
Oh no!
I don't know how much money that game is worth, but like I looked a decade ago, it was like 200. I looked like a year ago,
No,
it was
don't
like,
don't
wait, it's
look
even more. I'm looking now.
I've had at least two
Um,
cases like that where someone I talked to was like, "Oh, I had a Mega Man game and now I don't have it," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, mate, but if it's an old Mega Man game, it's gonna be unless it's like maybe the first couple of Game Boy ones,
Yeah.
it's worth a lot."
I
They,
mean, my old NES
yeah.
ones are pretty trashy. I have a lot of the old cartridges, but I don't have the boxes. But like, apparently, complete Misadventures of Tron Bonne, which I guess that. Well, I mean, in fact, they just sold it with a CD. It wasn't like in a box. So if you have the CD case and like the CD, and I guess everything's in good condition, like it's like goes for like $550 apparently.
Oh no!
If you have like a brand new unopened, apparently it's like almost $1,000.
Yeah,
I
Legends is one of those kind of it's like a Shenmue or a I'm trying to think of like examples of TV shows that got huge cult followings and were basically it's that kind of specific sort of cult following where they didn't get a proper ending, basically, or they were left with a cliffhanger. And then the cruel thing was, as you kind of touched on, Jeff, infamously with
Sarah
Mega
Connor
Man.
Chronicles.
Yeah,
That
like,
ended on such a cliffhanger.
because like
Bastards.
the cruel thing with Legends is, as you referenced, Jeff, that there was to be a Legends tree, and
Yeah, on
they
Wii U, wasn't it?
well, it was gonna. So what it was gonna be on 3DS, and they were trying to. It mentioned the serve bots just now, who are kind of like the cute little Lego people, kind of mascots, really obsequious, adorable, not always competent, but well-meaning little Lego style characters. I think the idea was like, oh, the community are going to be like around this game in person. Are going to be like serve bots, and they're going to kind of suggest ideas or pick which character design we go with. And I think the problem was for that to be feasible, it had to be early enough in development of Legends 3 that it wouldn't even be at the phase where it would be absolutely greenlit 100%. And I think ultimately what happened, that was being spearheaded by KJ Inafune, one of the main producers of the series. He kind of left Capcom not on amazing terms, it sounds like, soon after, and basically Legends 3, along with other Mega Man projects, including like Universe, which is meant to be like sort of an official Mega Man maker, kind of.
Yeah.
That all just got cancelled, and then there was sort of a dark age of Mega Man for like the early 2010s, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And yeah, to this day, Mega Man Legends 2 ended on a kind of note where it's like, well, are they going to be able to get out of this okay, kind of thing? And just, never resolved to this day, which is always just the most painful thing for someone with a big fan following like that.
Dang.
So Prinny asked earlier, what in terms of Mega Man, what makes a suit important for you when picking a Mega Man power? Is it how it looks or what power it has? whether it's got any uses outside of a battle or its strengths or weaknesses.
I'm stingy as hell, so I end up like just being Blue Mega Man for like 90% of the game, except for like unless I've like taught myself, I'm like, okay, I can you can get away with using this weapon. Like in Mega Man 1, I like, okay, you got to use the M tool over here, and like in Mega Man 2, you're like, you can pretty much just spam Metal Mans and it's fine. But like most times, I'm like, I don't want to run out.
I'm glad you mentioned
Yeah,
Metal Man, because I was going to reference that. Like, what you do is you do what I did. You play through Mega Man 2. You think, oh, the Metal Man one's okay, but I don't know if it's that great. And then you read, oh, you can fire it in 8 directions, which is totally not a thing I realized my first Mega Man 2 playthrough. And then you're like, wait, this is good against most things in this game, and it's good on ammo. And again, you get like 8-way firing, which is not always a thing you get in Mega Man. So
did everyone else sorry. Go on,
oh no, sorry, I was just saying, yeah, you just go with Mailman, basically.
Okay. Did everyone else do the favorite series? Because I actually didn't do mine.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. I just wasn't sure. I'm really good at derailing, so I was like gonna bring it back, and then we moved on to the suits, and I was like,
no, bless you. I was the one who just like took over with Legends Discourse, so please go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just very like with these types of things. I'm just very like, what's on my mind, and then I'm like, okay, now I gotta like try to reel it back in because I feel like I'm constantly derailing. Is it me? Am I the only one that didn't mention mine?
I think so. Yeah, because Peds went for classic, Jazzem classic / Legends.
Okay. Yeah. For me, it's like classic and Zero, and I need to replay the Zero games. One is weird and has like an odd like Castlevania thing, and there's like a fail state. Like you can get wrecked in Mega Man Zero, like first one, and like not be able to complete it if I recall. Because there's like a weird like time limit thing going on. It's got the Metroidvania stuff, and like if you lose fights, it can like impact the story. And then like Mega Man 2, they were like, nah. It's just like it went back to being like basically a take on Mega Man X, where you just have like the pistol and the sword. So it's like a mix of it's like a mix of X and Zero from the X series. And the story is really cool. It's kind of darker and grittier. The character designs are really neat. I mean, I liked Zero's design in that one. I was always a big fan of Zero. As like Zero and Base, I was a kid that liked the edgier characters. Not that Zero's super edgy early on, but he's he's the cooler one, right?
Yeah.
He's got the sword and like he's a really strong guy, like sacrificing himself and stuff like that. And
say dies
yeah, he also does die a lot, but he's cool. He's got a sword. And kids like swords. So yeah, I really liked Base and I really liked Zero a lot. And so when you had like Base also Base like a super badass in Mega Man like Battle Network, like that,
and like Mega Man 8, of course.
Oh yes, we are not enemies. Shut up.
And of course, as we know, it's pronounced bass like a fish.
Bass, we are not enemies. I'll get you.
I also was a fan of Proto Man over Proto Man's cool.
I
don't know why, but Proto Man is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Proto Man, like they also, since we didn't mention it, the Ruby Spears series, they made Proto Man like Dr. Wily's like Proto Man is basically the Green Ranger in that series. Is like Dr. Wily's Mega Man. and you have all these episodes where it teases like, oh, maybe he's a good guy after all, or something like that. And then he's just like, smell you later, or something. Like they never really quite reconcile because they always needed like they never really got to Base, and they always needed like basically a rival for Mega Man, and none of the like Guts Man and Cut Man and all of them were never gonna be that. I just thought about that. Yeah, Proto Man was pretty cool. They gave the shades.
The whistle.
Yeah, I think it's the scarf and the red suit that gets me with Proto Man, to be honest.
Yeah, Proto Man blues.
Right, okay. So, sorry, I've got this list here. In terms of Mega Man 12, if there was a Mega Man 12 that was released, what would you guys want to see in it? I think we'll start off with Jazzem, if we may.
Oh goodness. Could I cheat and say I think they could do a thing where they just alternate between Mega Man and X games, basically. So I think next it'd be cool to do an X9. And I really like a lot of the little. I think 11 was a really good case of like, it didn't change genre or anything, but it did have a lot of nice little adjustments. Like even just little things. Like I really like quick weapon selecting with the right stick. Like just keep a lot of that. Have a neat idea like the double gear system.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of nice.
Yeah, just I think as I say, it sounds like X8 was pretty alright, especially better than the last two games before it. But I think kind of like how I don't mind Mega Man 8, but like 9 was definitely like a nice kind of return to form kind of game. I think X could do with that. And I wouldn't know exactly what to suggest for it, but I think especially going back to like I guess like how with Mega Man 9 they went back to like a Mega Man 2 style design. I think with an X9, they could go to like an X1 style to just look at that game, maybe especially see why that worked so well. And it's a bit hard because we don't want the exact same thing again, but something inspired by that does really well with the kind of modern embellishments and quality of life features.
Yeah. What about you, Peds? What would you like to see in Mega Man 12?
More cool robots, like really cool designed robots.
Like your
And
own robot, by any chance?
like my robot is, my robot's great. But no, like I want to see some out of the box thinking with the robot masters, because like a lot of the time they kind of in a lot of the games they kind of like the same kind of, this one does fire, this one does ice, this one does that kind of thing. I wouldn't know how they would go about it, especially with the X series, where I think they because they're not blah blah man, they just something like tundra tits.
What's a cool
I don't think there's a
He's a boomer.
Like, I think that like out of the box thinking with the robot masters would be cool. Obviously, the issue there then is how would you implement the weapons and stuff when you get the powers, and that might be awkward. It's like, oh yeah, this one squirts blood at you. Oh, you can make a sea of blood now, Mega Man. You know what I mean? This one kicks you really hard with a giant foot every so often. Hey, Mega Man, you can now kick a football like in Mega Man 8.
Or Mega Man Soccer.
Oh, Mega Man Soccer. Nah. I just wanted
to
I just wanted to bring up 8 because I know how much Imp loves it. And I don't know. Like, to be honest, just iterating on what's come before is basically what they probably going to do if they do a 12, because unless they really change what the game is about or how the game plays or change genre or anything like that, then I don't know what else I'd want. But if they were to do like, hey, this is a different genre, I'd rather be, hey, this is Mega Man blah blah blah, not Mega Man OG. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they did Mega Man X, which was the same genre, but then you had like Battle Network, you had Legends. They were all in a different genre. So I basically want them to just basically improve upon what they've already done.
Okay. And Imp, I know you messaged me what you'd like to see in 12, so
yeah.
Did you want to explain to a clip?
Yes. And since Peds mentioned some stuff, I had some other ideas for like but like for classic series, I want them to do it could end up being 8 again, which would make me unhappy, but I would love if they went and took some risks like 5 and 8, where they really messed around with the stage design and tried some really unique stuff with that. And I don't know what they would do, but they've done that type of thing before, where it's not just like, oh, this stage feels so different for a Mega Man stage. They tried like some really interesting stuff in 5, and a lot of it worked for me. And
they'll add in a skateboarding level instead of a snowboarding level.
Oh yes, a skate. No, you need a hoverboard. Let's see what else. What else did I say? I feel like I went in. I'm just gonna pull it up to see what I said to you like last night. let's see, because I definitely forgot some stuff. Oh yeah, I would love for them to keep the suit transformations, because I thought that was a pretty cool thing that they did in 11. I never minded just the color changes, but it was really cool how they all fit Mega Man pretty well. I feel like.
I think that it was something they originally wanted to do, right back at the beginning, but like the consoles just weren't powerful enough to do it, so they never did it. And then obviously it became a thing then to just change the colors. But I think with 11 they finally turned around and were like, let's finally do it. Like, but it's something I believe they wanted to do originally or very early on, but were unable to.
I imagine that would also be a really big pain with sprite work. Like, which this was, I think, what 12 is isn't 12 the first? Well, no, well, yeah, 12 is the first one that's not that would be in 3D, right? Or maybe powered up and stuff like that. Did they have the suit changes in powered up? I don't remember.
Not sure.
The PSP one where they added like 2 Robot Masters to the first game, like Time Man and something else. But yeah, the suits, I feel, I mean, like it would be annoying to do, you know, they would have like 70 variations of Mega Man if they did all the sprites for it too, you know what I mean? So maybe it was a size thing, but also I'm sure that would be like a lot of work until they could do it. They could just like change it in 3D and be like, okay, just make sure it doesn't clip. Like, let's see, it would be kind of cool if they, I mean, for 12, if we got Bass or Proto Man or even like Duo, which I guess isn't going to happen, which nobody's mentioned it. Does anybody else play Power Battles? Those games, 1 and 2 arcade games?
I can't say that I have, no.
They're like co-op arcade games. I think the last time, actually, I think the only time they've ever been collected in the States, though I think there might have been some official online releases on things like GameTap, maybe? I don't remember. I feel like there might have been sites that had them. I definitely played it online at one point, but it might have been through emulation. But they're like fighting games where you could do like co-op. I guess it's more like a cross between a fighting game and a beat 'em up.
Right.
And you're doing like the boss fights with your friends. And like the first one, I think the first one might have had Mega Man, Proto Man, and Bass, maybe. I can't remember. But the second one definitely had Duo as well. So that was like the last canon, I think, appearance of Duo, other than maybe that mobile game. I don't know. But that would be, you know, that's like, it would be kind of cool if they brought Duo back just to be like, hey, he still exists. Remember this guy? But another thing, it would be, I don't think they'll do this, but it would be kind of neat if they branched 0 and X back together, like the series, or if they did a Mega Man X5, if they just went back to X5 and did X6 as if they did the route where like the route that spins off into Mega Man 0.
Okay.
That would be kind of cool.
I reckon we should do X5 where we bring back the Guns N' Roses names.
You won't see them in the modern translation.
I know. So
you gotta emulate it or something, because like that was like the PlayStation one, but I don't know when they changed. I don't know when they got rid of it.
Duff McWhalen, man, it's the best name ever.
Duff McWhalen, yeah. I mean, I was a kid, I didn't get any of them. I found out like later on what that was all about. Apparently, it was just like the localized.
As well.
Apparently, the person that translated it was just like dating somebody that really loved Guns N' Roses, and I think that might have been one of the voice actors. I don't remember. And they just like, all right, let's just name all the characters.
So I think I'm right in saying that was the woman who voiced Claire Redfield, believe it or not.
Oh,
in sequel 2, yeah.
That's
localized that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah. Just a quick question, 7. Cricken asks, who is your Mega Man waifu?
Who is my waifu? Leviathan.
Okay. Pets?
Dr. Wily.
I'm damn it,
Oh yeah. What did you say?
Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily. So we've got Leviathan.
I heard Dr. Wily. Okay. Yeah, Leviathan. Leviathan's pretty cool. All of like the side bosses that you like that you see throughout Mega Man 0 are really cool. They give them like personalities, and you fight them over the course of like 3 games. I think they're all gone from 4 because 3 was supposed to be the finale of 0. I could be mistaken.
Oh, Jazzem, you could have a serve bot.
Dronbon waifu, there you go.
I do want a little army of servbots.
Yeah, well, make your curry rice.
Yeah, it's a good perk. It's a good perk, you know. You can bring you coffee too.
On a more serious note, Penny asks, which is your favourite music track in Mega Man?
Oh man.
I'd say mine's Chill Penguin.
Oh yes.
Or Wily's theme.
There's
from
so
Mega Man
much
7.
good music, but when I want to listen to something Mega Man, I always put on Wily Stage 1 and 2 from Mega Man 2. It's just my go-to track.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I fucking love it.
So good.
I have some sleeper tracks. Like I said, I mentioned them before. Crystal Snail's track and Dive Man's track. Like I didn't care for either of them when I was a kid, but those grew on me like so much. Just like listening to the music on like runs and stuff like that. Crystal Snails is really good.
Yeah, really snailed it, didn't they?
What else? Both the Zero themes from Mega Man X, from OG Mega Man X, are really good. The I literally have had that song in my head since like kindergarten. It will just come back to me at random times. And then whenever he talks to X and it slows down and does like that very like that slower like melodic like that song, that's really good too. I liked Metal Man Stage when I was a kid. It's too hard to pick just one. There's so much good music in this series. I could go on forever. It's so good.
So I think the answer is all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Including Mega Man 8's lounge music.
Oh god. Oh no.
Or the bleeps and bloops of the sound effects of Mega Man DOS, because there is no music.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Was the music in Mega Man DOS 2? Or 3? Mega Man DOS 3, I think it was, wasn't it? It wasn't a 2. It was Mega Man DOS and Mega Man DOS 3.
Yeah.
I think no in both cases. Yeah, PC sound was a bit of a strange thing at that time.
I wonder how much money they were making off these DOS versions to have made more than one.
Well, the story behind it, I think it's something like it was like someone on Capcom's American team just wanted to make his own without being asked to. He just made his own little Mega Man DOS game. And I think higher ups were like, "Yep, cool, print it, good enough for release." It's kind of a cool story in a way, without even regardless of the final results. And
what would you say? Like they just somebody just like made it.
It's sort of an official fan game. It almost sounds like the Game of the Historian did a really good video on it. It's quite cool in a way, like up to the point that the game kind of sucks, but still, it's still pretty new. Like
I can respect it, but it's favorable.
Even if it was a crap game, it probably still wasn't that easy to to be a one-man effort in the early 90s. Like in his own free time, like fair play.
Game development back then is like so weird with how different like all the consoles were and everything like that. So, like you basically just like develop like a second game.
Well, I mean, I think part of the struggle with Mega Man DOS is that PCs really weren't made to like smoothly scroll in the way that like console games were. Like they didn't really have specific hardware for. I think that's why stuff like Commander Keen, like the id Software game before they did like Doom and such, that was like really impressive. And even then, it's still not as smooth. And yeah, Mega Man DOS is definitely not as smooth as NES Mega Man, to put that very mildly.
Because Mega Man 2 was sort of done as a side project, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Back in the day.
I don't think the first game was particularly successful, was it?
No, so I think the developers pretty much did it on the side.
Which is remarkable given how good it turned out, right?
Right. So the last sort of bit of the podcast. Now, Ped has pre-done his already. So, Jazzem, would you like to quickly design your own? I'll do it on Paint if you've got any design things to do. And if you can just design your own Robot Master.
So, in a wonderful case of doing your homework right before it's due.
Oh, have you done one?
Yeah, it's shocking, expectedly. But oh god, where did I save that? Yeah, I was doodling on MS Paint just now.
Oh,
Oh, no.
right. Awesome.
And I apologize severely in advance because it is really stupid what I've put together.
We'll put it to a poll afterwards.
I'll just copy and paste that. Yeah, okay, there we are. So
I'll just dictate to Jeff.
so my Robot Master is societal reform man.
Oh my god!
With an abstract art helmet because I couldn't really.
Is that in
Wait,
Discord?
Jeff told me they had to be lewd. Jeff literally said in my message they had to be lewd.
This is like when you're invited to the costume party, but like it's just a normal party.
No one's got the underwear on the outside. That's
I might have given you different specs to one another.
Damn it, Jeff.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So yeah, mine just weaponizes socialism, but like in a good way, and is good against.
Sort of very good Robot Master. Hey, Mega Man, I'm going to be nice to you. See you later.
So
His anti-capitalism side acts as like an axe or something. Like that.
Okay. So this is Jazzem's Robot Master, looking very good. No, thank you. Imp, did you have one prepared, or do you?
I'm a doodle one up real quick. No worries.
Okay.
You got this.
Pets, perhaps.
Yes.
Would you like to explain what your Robot Master's called?
Dongle Man.
Dongle Man.
No.
Okay.
You mean USB dongle, right?
So this is Ped's Robot Master.
Oh no!
Oh god! TOS.
This is your competition, Imp.
So
all right, I got this.
what's this hat that he's wearing? Is it a beanie? Is that the USB drive?
Just confirm to me that his existence isn't a misery. Like he's not eternally in pain, right? Like he's doing okay.
No, he's happy. He's happy.
Ah, good.
But the thing is, he's got blue balls.
Right. Yeah.
And right, basically, see his hands. They're also penises, right? And of those, he shoots like sprays of pee at you.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after a while, as you can see, he's not erect, but he does become erect. And then he does a special kind of like laser blast. It charges up and squirts loads of Jazzem at you.
Right.
And then
Wait,
the more times
Jazzem
it does that, it does, yeah. The more times he does that, the less blue his balls become before you kill him.
Right. Okay. So you thought about his attacks and like what attacks does social what was yours called again?
Also, one other attack he does is he whilst erect he darts across the room like kind of like a torpedo, like a penetrating torpedo.
Okay. No, I like. It's all right. He looks happy enough, doesn't he? Okay, maybe not happy enough. I guess he'd be straight up if he was happy, but you know.
All
right.
I love the legitimate game design that's gone into Peds. It's quite impressive.
I guess. Well,
right, I whipped mine up real quick. We're done.
Okay, awesome.
Here we go.
Let's see what Mr. Imp.
I think it's very Wily-esque.
And would you like to explain what's going on here? It's a very good.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
This is exactly as I remember it in my dreams.
So in terms of our creations, we've got mine is political audience divided man.
Yeah.
Heads is turn the game's age rating way up man. And Imps is copyright infringement man. Beautiful.
Well, I'll put these designs to a poll and we'll see which one wins out. So which
Okay, I'm fixing mine.
Okay. I'll wait till Imps be done.
You can leave that one as is though, but we just gotta
make it blue and pretend that it's after you kill Dongle Man. To kill Tongle Man when his balls attacks him.
What is your man called, Jazzem? What's your soul suit man?
Societal Reform Man.
Societal Reform Man. Okay.
I mean, the initial one is fine though.
Imp was copyright infringement man.
Of course. I mean, you even have that whole like power copying thing too, so it's a perfect match for Mega Man.
Right. I'll quickly go draft one up on Paint now.
I didn't have my tablet plugged in or ready, so I just had to mouse it. Oh hey, EDAC.
Oh, we've got what's this new one called? This new creation.
Omega copyright infringement. I don't know.
Omega.
You don't have to go with that
Self-copyright
name, bless
infringement,
you. You actually go with that name, bless you.
Sure, why not?
Hey Raiders, how's it going, EDAC? Hope you're all well.
Or
Just
legally distinct.
legally distinct.
Legally distinct man.
Right, okay. I best be quick with this one, then. I'll just call this one Wiggle Man. We're making wiggly. There we go. Oops, not that wiggly though. There you go. Nice. But yeah, we're just doing a Mega Man podcast at the moment with Jazzem, Imp, Peds, talking about all our favourite Mega Man memories, and we're just doing a little competition as to who can create the best robot master. Give this dude one eye. No, wait. This looks like my.
Let's do Mike Wazowski.
Yeah. Okay. we'll give him 3 eyes then. So that
Well, copyright infringement man as a fellow copyright infringement man.
This isn't copyright infringement man. This is completely copyright safe man.
His weakness is barcode man.
No, he's weak to sass.
So he loses every fight with you then.
No, I'm not sassy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, that's great. I like that. That's cute.
Yeah.
And this one can be called Pets.
This is Mega Man for toddlers game, yeah?
No.
I can't say anything. My drawing's awful.
Oops. I don't want to call him Ball Man. There's already Bounce Man. Smile Man.
No, how about almost Mike Wazowski Man?
No, it's Smile Man. That's it. Okay, so I put a poll up. If you guys want to vote,
you might want to re-show the pictures for the readers.
Yeah, I will do. So
I think it's good off showing yours again.
We've got Smile Man here.
I was told specifically to be lewd.
We've got right. This one's Omega copyright infringement man, or Omega Man. We've got copyright infringement man. We've got societal reform man, and then we've got dongle man. There's so many holes.
You just never see it coming.
Let's go off that one. How was your stream, EDAC, as well? How's everybody doing from EDAC stream? Welcome on in. EDAC, Courtney. Hope you're all doing Gucci today.
Can you imagine just hanging out in EDAC stream and getting rated into here and then witnessing Ped's creation?
Well, I didn't play this Mega Man game.
No, I split my vote.
Can I copy Ped's image into a Discord? Copy image.
It just like I was just like watching your stream. It just there it is. Though it's way better when it's not on the same page because whenever you pull it up, it's just like boom.
I got to give credit.
A transparent background.
He's got good quad game as well. He's been like, that is completely true, Cricket. Yeah. We don't have hideous ape character.
I wonder if I can sell her as an NFT. I can make at least 1 pence for it.
Possibly, yeah. Okay, so it's actually a draw so far between Omega Man and Dongle Man. So
Yeah, there's a fierce competitor.
yeah, no, I think
I shamelessly voted for my own.
I
I was gonna go with Copyright Infringement Man, but the other vote went to Omega Man. I don't want to split my own vote. Could be tactical.
I found Smile Man is just really adorable, so he got mine.
Okay.
Thank you. I actually voted for.
I think mine's adorable.
He's doing what he can.
It does have a Mega Man eyes, to be fair.
I got the Pac-Man eyes, actually. Yeah, like the Pac-Man Ghost eyes.
Waka 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 waka.
I think the hat really brings it together, mine.
Thanks, Jazzem, Peds, and Imp for joining me for Mega Man Monday for the podcast.
Thank you.
Great having you here.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, no, thanks,
It was
guys.
enjoyable. Thank you very much.
We should do it again.
Yeah, we'll have to wait
Exactly,
till
we never
Mega
did this
Man
one.
X9 comes out for a new
We
Mega
can
Man
talk about
podcast.
we can talk about anything.
Anything and everything.
Anything,
Well
yes.
done, guys,
Thank-
on your robot designs as well.
Thank
And
you.
thanks everybody
Thanks.
in chat for chilling and hanging out. It's always a pleasure hanging out. So we'll raid over to text then. Let's do some FF13 too. We do say hello. Otherwise, we couldn't start the raid. Give me a second.
Alrighty.
You might have possibly.
Before you go, you need to tell people when you're doing the next podcast, because this is the second one you've done now, isn't it?
We need
So
to get
when's
this
the
man to
next
go-
one?
I've
We need to get
no
this man
idea.
to go play Castlevania.
You need to have an idea, Jeff. Your fans are waiting.
Yes.
It'll be January the 12th.
Okay. I'll see you all on
Well-
January the 12th then.
He'll have played the entire Castlevania series by then.
Right.
and
I
ready to
think
discuss it.
Tex must have raids disabled, so we'll raid over to Cyber. Doing some Yakuza. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. The next podcast I think will be a Shenmue one with Cyber, but that'll be sometime next year. But yeah, goodbye everybody. Bye.
Bye.
And
thanks, that was really fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And if you're hanging out on the VOD as well, the VOD squad, goodbye from
VOD
us.
squad.
Bye.